Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of Cuphead vs. Hazbin Hotel. Well, more like Hazbin Hotel vs. Dreamworks, because in this episode, we're taking a look at a fight between the First Man and the Grim Reaper, Adam from Hazbin Hotel, and Death from Puss in Booth's The Last Wish. And a disclaimer is that we're only going to be looking at the Hazbin version of Adam created by YouTuber VivzyPop, and not the biblical version of him, since both of them are very distinctively different if we compare them to each other. But with that out of the way, let's find out who wins this fight between an arrogant angelic jerk and the physical manifestation of death itself. First is strength. Death, according to his wiki, is said to have building levels of strength. And while we don't have a lot of examples regarding this or proving this, he has shown us that he can effortlessly break crystals with just one hit. And I'm going to be doing the calculating of this strength and also Adam's strength. And also maybe other episodes in the future, but that's besides the point. So right off the bat, it's unclear what kind of crystals these are, so I did a bit of research to see if there were any crystals that behave like the ones we see in the Crystal Cave. Then crystals that are transparent and also act like mirrors. And I found that it could potentially be hematite crystals. Now, hematite is a type of quartz, and these are the type of crystals that produce mirror-like reflections and can also be transparent. Now, you guys can do your own research on this and prove me that these are some different kind of crystals, but to my research, this is the closest thing that I could find that were similar to the type of crystals we've seen in the Crystal Cave. So let's say that these crystals are hematite. Now that we've gotten our possible candidate, let's compare the force it would take to break hematite and the force of an average human punch. An average human punch is said to be about 120 to 150 psi or pounds per square inch, and a professional boxer hits with a force of about 800 to 1500 psi. And we see Death break a total of 8 crystals with only a single strike. And Death is said to have superhuman strength, and it's possible that he could amplify his strength, but it also makes sense why he has superhuman strength considering that he's the physical manifestation of Death. Now, this may seem like an incredible feat of strength on Death's part. There's simply one thing that contradicts this feat, and that's the fact that hematite as a crystal is extremely fragile. Then they can shatter if they're dropped, and they can get scratched easily. And also that drop feat is very similar to what Death does with one of the crystals, where he pushes it and it completely breaks. Now, while this feat may seem impressive, if you do the research, it doesn't really seem as impressive as you may think. Even if we have a hematite crystal that is as tall as the ones that we see in the movie, it wouldn't really change how fragile they are. So with an incredibly disappointing feat on Death's part, let's look at Adam, the First Man. Much like Death, there isn't a lot to work with here, but the only thing that I could find was when he punched through part of the hotel when fighting Lucifer. And it's unclear what this specific part of the hotel is made of, but judging by the impact of Adam's punch and the sound that it makes, and also the shattering on impact, it's probable that this part is concrete. So let's do the same thing that we did with hematite, but compare it to concrete. Concrete is said to break at about 2,500 to 3,000 newtons, which when converted to pounds is about 560 to 670 pounds. And we see Adam completely shatter this piece of concrete. So if we take this into account, and also take into account that a professional boxer then punches at 1,500 pounds, this means that Adam is hitting around 2,500 to 3,000 pounds, or about 1,360.78 kilograms, which is about 2 times stronger than a boxer, which would make him so much stronger than Death. And with that, Adam gets the first point. Next is speed. Let's look at Adam first. Adam is said to have hypersonic speed on his wiki, which is about 3,800 to 7,600 miles per hour. And Death, much like his strength, isn't really impressive that much. Death is said to have subsonic speed, which is only about 600 miles per hour, which means that Adam is nearly 12 times faster than Death, And Adam gets the edge over Death considering that he has the ability to fly. And if we compare Death's running speed to Adam's flight speed, the results are basically night and day. So Adam gets another point. Now let's look at durability. Adam in the show is extremely durable, taking a stabbing from Charlie's pitchfork, an unexpected punch from Lucifer, which sent him flying across their field, a kick from Lucifer in his horse form, and even a brutal beating from Lucifer at the end, and still gets up and tries to fight back, until he gets stabbed in the back by Nifty, figuratively and literally. And Death only got 2 hits from Puss in Boots. And even though Puss is sort of stronger than Death himself, he's not nearly as strong as Adam in the show. So Adam, once again, gets another point. Next is intelligence. Death is a highly intelligent being a master in various fields of combat, intimidation, and stalking. He can also use his intimidation to make Puss freak out and run away in fear. And he even uses combat skills to defeat everyone's favorite fearless hero and scare him. Adam, on the other hand, seems like he has average human intelligence, being overconfident and somewhat narcissistic. So because of this, Death gets his first point. Now is weapons. Death has 2 twin sickles which can slice through anything with ease, and can even combine them together to make a double-edged staff. Adam has a signature guitar, which he uses to shred during his song Hell's Forever, and even uses it as a weapon against his fight with Alistair. It can send shockwaves, slice through Alistair's tentacles and minions, and can even break his microphone. Though both of them are close, but because Adam's guitar has the addition of sending shockwaves, and that he can create his guitar out of thin air, Adam takes the point once again. Next up is powers and abilities. Death has enhanced senses, stealth, mastery in weapons and combat, teleportation, pyrokinesis, which, if you haven't watched Cuphead vs. Charlie, is the ability to control fire, fire resistance, and immortality. Adam can fly, has astral projection, for example when he projected himself in hell in his meeting with Charlie, selective intangibility, such as when he was able to grab Charlie by the arm when Charlie couldn't touch him earlier in their meeting, light manipulation, cloud walking, creation and summoning, like when he summons his guitar, and several golden exorcists in Hell is Forever, teleportation, energy projection, and does have slight immortality, though it does depend on who he's fighting, like if they do have angelic weapons. So both of them are sort of similar when it comes to abilities like immortality and teleportation, but I'll give the point to Adam because he is very consistent with his abilities compared to Death, who isn't as consistent as he is. Next up is battle experience. Death has fought Puss twice throughout the whole movie, while Adam has fought Charlie, Alistair, and Lucifer, basically back to back. And all 3 of them are much more powerful and stronger than Puss will ever imagine to be. So Adam, again, gets another point. Now we finally come to the end. It was a lot of trial and error and a whole bunch of research on my part, but in the end, the winner of this fight would be Adam. But you guys can disagree with me, or you guys really seem to disagree with me because I did make a poll and you guys agreed that Death would win. But let me explain, okay? It's simply because of his strength, his flight speed, and his overwhelming number of abilities that Death likely has never faced in all of his years. Although it's unlikely that Death can be killed by Adam's energy blast, but again, it doesn't seem like Adam can be killed by Death's weapons. But we'll say that Death can be killed by his energy blast, even though he can't really die. So Adam gets the win. All of you Death fans can debate about this in the comments, alright? But here's the thing. Adam would be the technical winner of this fight if we account everything that we just talked about. But if we take the same route with Death and Puss's fights, then it would technically be Death that would win. Because think about it. Puss in the movie at the beginning really didn't care about his life. He didn't care about wasting his lives, and then when death immediately almost killed him, he valued his life more and more. Now look at Adam, a guy that didn't really seem to care about his life and just was an overwhelming narcissist on his part. So if we take that into account, and also take away the fact that Adam is already technically dead, and death goes after dead or people that are about to die, death would technically be the winner if we take that into account. So Adam would be the technical winner if we count all the different things, or all the different categories that we discussed, like strength, abilities, blah blah blah. But death would also be the winner if we just look at everything else in here, like how Adam never really cared about his life. So I would say that this would technically be a tie, but the technical winner would be Adam. So let's just say that Adam wins this fight. So you guys can continue to debate about this in the comments, but that'll be it for this. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell icon so that way you guys can be notified when a brand new debate video is going to be released. And let me know what other debates you guys want me to cover, since I already have a future debate that I want to talk about. And if you guys want to know what that is, you guys can go to the community, or you guys can go to my community tab on my channel. And since you guys wanted me to cover Charlie versus the Devil, so there's already 2 videos that I'm going to be talking about. But that's going to be it for today's video, folks. I've been your host, Leonard C. Umbreon, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.